Hello, hello. How are you? How's your weekend so far? How is your weekend? It's May. It's already mid-May. Oh yeah, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to the moms in the world. And yep, it's a Sunday, and we're gonna do what we do on Sunday night. Okay, now looks like I'm live. All right. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Okay, now welcome back to Ask Jason Anything Sunday night session. So this is what I do on Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. Every Sunday night, been doing this for 162 episodes right now. So what we do is I'll be answering questions about Meta advertising, Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising. So if you have any questions regarding all these topics, which is what I do, and it's really what I'm really passionate about since 2010. You first thing first, if you have any questions regarding Meta advertising, the first thing I would encourage you to do is to go to my YouTube channel. Okay, over there I have got over 1,000 videos about Meta advertising. So I want you to start searching for an answer. If you can find one, then awesome. Just quickly get over your problem and start moving to the next step in your Facebook ads campaign. Because to be frank, when it comes to Meta advertising journey, there are a lot of things you need to learn, especially if you're new. All right, so you need to learn how to set up the campaign, understand the audience, and talk about the audience. Analytics and optimization down the road. I cover everything. All right, so that's what we do. So try to find an answer. Otherwise, if you cannot find an answer, it's fine. All you need to do is just post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. And what I'm going to do is on the following Sunday, I'll be actually answering your questions live in the, like my weekly live session over here. So, please do not expect me to reply to your comment in written format, because not trying to be arrogant here, no, at all. It's really because, in my opinion, technical stuff like Meta advertising, digital marketing are not really effective to be communicated in written format. So I'd rather just talk to you like this. And probably I'm not that good in writing, so I probably I just prefer to talk to you, right? So yeah, just come back on the following Sunday to follow me. But if you are free on Sunday night, just join me live, and you can actually pop your question in the chat. So what I'm going to do is, that's what I usually do. I will just go over all the questions that I've captured on my YouTube channel and from my community. And once we finish that, we will come back to the questions that are being posted in the comments. So if you have any questions, stay tuned until the end of this, and I'll be actually addressing them one by one. So, yep. And yeah, so that's what we do now. Let me bring up the screen real quick. Okay, so it's called Ask Jason Anything about Facebook ads, Meta ads, and all that. So yeah, so this is what we do, right? But just in case you want something quicker, you say that Jason, I don't want to wait until next Sunday. Can I just talk to you as soon as I can, one-on-one? Because some questions are not meant to be shared publicly as well. We understand that. And if you need that kind of one-on-one conversation, you can then scan this QR code. Let me point it to you. This is the this QR code will bring you to my Fiverr gig. So all you need to do is to buy me a dinner over there, and you will have the option to schedule a 30-minute or more Zoom call with me. And over the Zoom call, you can share your screen, you can ask your question, you can ask me to review your campaign, anything. All right, as long as within 30 minutes we get it done, that's what we do. So yeah, if you need that, then scan this QR code, and I look forward to speak to you. Now, in case you're new to Meta advertising and you are looking for kind of like a like one of a proven learning program to help you master Meta advertising in the most effective way. Now, I would recommend my Facebook ads masterclass is what we call. This was actually recorded in I think December last year, which is still up to date. Don't worry about that. Now, what we do here in this Facebook ads masterclass, this is the 2.5 hour recorded training. Now, when I say recorded training, means you will always get the latest version of it, which means every 6 months or so, whenever there are certain significant updates and stuff like that, I will be recording a latest version of the entire training. So every time you click on the link that you receive after purchasing the course, of course, scan this QR code and buy the course. After every time you come back, you always see the latest version of it. So what do we cover in Facebook Ads Masterclass? 5 things, actually. First thing first, we talk about the most important thing, which is Facebook ads strategy and structure. So how do you arrange the structure? How do you build your strategy? And when we talk about this, we also go through step by step on how do we build the top of funnel campaign and how much budget we should be allocating for that. and how do we build the retargeting campaign, and how do we play on the messaging, the budgeting, and stuff like that. So we talk about the entire structure. So that's really important thing. Now, while we are actually discussing the structure and building it step by step, I'll show you step by step how to build a campaign using my framework and stuff. And we will also touch point about a few things, which is the second thing we talk about, the objective. Now, in my opinion, if you choose the wrong objective, you're actually going to you're going to suffer, like the wrong audience and the wrong result that you are, like not something that you're looking for. So the objective selection is really an important thing that you have to understand. Which one is suitable for you, which is not. So that's the second thing that we will cover. Now, the third thing we talk about audience targeting, which is one of the biggest questions that a lot of meta advertisers are asking in the world. I receive all these kind of questions all the time. How do we find the best audience? How do we actually, what should we use custom audience? We use, and that's where I talk about the audience targeting technique that I use for my clients, for my coaching students and stuff like that. So that's something that I will share with you as well. And the third thing is I'll be sharing with you about the latest creative and copywriting trend that is working, because I work with clients from all around the world. So from there, we learn about the latest trend, what's working and what's not working. And from there, you'll be able to learn the latest, first-hand information about, so that it will cut short your so-called learning curve in terms of like, you don't need to go and actually bang on the wall yourself and, like go through all the learning. You just go to the point that is like, okay, do this and don't do that and stuff like that. All right. So that's the creative and copy. And the last part, which is the fifth part, is we talk about analytics, which is, in my opinion, one of the things that I believe every single meta advertisers must master, because starting an ad is actually the easiest part. You just put up and it goes. And how do you know whether it's working? How do you know how, what's working, and how do we optimize it? If we are making money out of it, what's working, and how do we actually make more money out of it? So these are all the questions that we ask when it comes to meta ads, analytics, and optimization. So I'll cover that as well. So these are the 5 things that we cover in Facebook Ads Masterclass. So if that's something that you want, then scan this QR code and then immediately sign up. You will get the course right away, and happy learning. So that's what we do. All right. Just in case you say that, Jason, I've gone through enough courses and all that. Can you just teach me and help me build my campaign instead? Yes, we do have that kind of special program, which I call the Facebook Ads Setup, Design and Setup program. So this is essentially a done with you program where we will spend 4 weeks together, and we will have 4 sessions of Zoom calls. So the first call is really about designing the strategy, whereby we would actually understand your campaign needs, your organization needs. I will design the strategy. I will also advise you on the creative direction, the copywriting. I won't do it for you anyway, but I will advise you so you can get your team to do it. And of course, I will also talk about beyond ads, like the landing page. If you have, I will give you some recommendations about what's something that you want to consider tweaking and stuff. So we look at the entire journey, not just the ad. So once we fix everything, after the first call, you go and work on your creative and stuff. On the second call is where I will set up the campaign for you. Meaning you will see me set up the campaign for the top of funnel. How do we do the audience targeting? How do we do the structure? How do you do the budget allocation? How do we do exclusion? So that's for the top of funnel. And when it comes to retargeting, how many retargetings we do, how many ad sets we're going to do, how many creative, what kind of messaging. So it's really about, I will set up for you and you'll be watching. So yeah, once we set up, we let it run for a week. On the third call, we will come back to look at the number and talk about what's working and what's not working, and how do we optimize it from there. And the fourth call as well. So this is a really very useful program for anyone who wants to get meta ads on the right foundation right away. You don't want to go through the learning, you don't want to go through the guesswork and all that. You just say that, can you just help me with this? So that's something that I would do with you. And I take only very handful of clients every single month. So scan this QR code. Let's have a quick discussion and chat and see whether we are a good fit to work together. If yes, of course. If not, then I'll point you to the next best program that you can actually go to, depending on your needs. And of course, this is something that you'll get all the recording. And of course, while we are doing it as well, I would encourage you to bring your team, whoever who wants to be involved in this thing, or they need to know about this thing, get them to join, because it's just me setting up, right, and do all the discussion. So I can let everybody listen. I don't mind. And you get a recording. So treat that as a future in-house training for your team as well. So that's something that you can actually do. So if that's what you want, scan this QR code and let's have a quick chat. Now, let's go through the questions that I have. Okay, now the first question I get is here from Carl. So Carl said you duplicate and relaunch your Advantage Plus campaign with 5 ads and all, and then everything. So the problem you're saying here is the CPM for the ad is low and now double it's now double compared to the previous ad, so the resulting in double CPM and blah blah blah. So your question is, should you pause this campaign and wait for a week until the algorithm does its thing and all that? Now, first thing first, I disagree. First thing first, there is no such things as the algorithm now is messy and 1 week later it's going to be better. No. The algorithm works better and better while you are running the ads. It needs the data to keep learning. So here's my rule of thumb. When a campaign is working, continue to optimize it and let it run. The moment you duplicate and restart everything, you throw away the previous learning. Make sense? I mean, I totally understand there are a lot of school of thoughts out there when they say that, oh, when that's working, let's duplicate it, make it into Advantage Plus and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm not saying that they are wrong. No. But in my opinion, I'm just talking about logic here. A well-learned campaign should continue to do better and better over time because the algorithm has already learned in it. But the moment you restart everything, as in you relaunch it, duplicate it, what does that mean? That means you throw away whatever in the old campaign, and now the new campaign is going through the new learning again. That's why you lose everything. That's why your CPM is very high. So the only way I would recommend is keep running it and monitor and see whether a few days down the road, everything gets back to normal. You get what I mean? So in my opinion, instead of keep duplicating and relaunching and hoping the miracle you hope it happen and over again, my practice of my philosophy is I would work on whatever that's working and optimize it. And we actually kind of like scale or expand the campaign strategically depending on what are the variables that we are taking. So when it comes to my optimization philosophy, it's really about building on the structure that is already working and keep building on it and on it. So yeah, I mean, so if you ask me, the question is, should you pause it? The answer is definitely no. But I just want to give you a different angle to look at the campaign optimization. Hopefully, yeah, that makes sense to you. So what I would recommend here is really run it and give it a week at least, like with enough data, and then analyze it and see what's working and what's not working. Because a lot of people will say that, oh, when I see money, that means the campaign is working. When I see profit, of course. But my question here is really, what is working? Before you really scale, you get what I mean? I would actually encourage you to find out what's working. Is it a creative? Is it a landing page? Is it a checkout process? Because if you do not know what's working, the moment you scale, you don't know what to monitor. And the moment it breaks, what will you do? You'll go back to the drawing board again and see, let's throw it away. Let's start from scratch. But here's the thing. The moment you start again, you're doing exactly the same thing. So what do you expect? Do you expect a different result while you're doing exactly the same thing? Or what I would rather want you to start considering to do here is, why not learn from every single campaign that is working or not working, and we build on that. What's working, let's build on it. What's not working, let's avoid making the mistake. That's why analytics is really so important for every advertisers out there. So run it, and this is what my clients do. If you're struggling to really like make sense of the data, I'm not saying that, yeah, it's sometimes it could be a bit difficult because knowing CTR, CPM, one single item of them and all that, but then try to understand what's working and try to make sense of the data. Combining multiple metrics together could be a challenge. So if you need help with that, you can scan this QR code, and this will take you to my Fiverr gig where you can actually book a 30-minute or so, kind of Facebook ads analytics, where we would actually spend 30 minutes or more, depending on how much, what's the package that you're taking, to analyze your campaign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build you a dashboard about all the metrics that you need to know. And then from there, I'll teach you how to analyze, and eventually how do we make sense between CTR and CPM and all that? How do we make decision when this thing is going up or down and stuff like that? So I will teach you. And then after that, I'll build you a plan. As in so this is working. So the next step, let's tweak this, let's test that and stuff like that. So I'll build you a plan. So yeah, that's something that you want. And I strongly encourage everybody who is running ads to go through this, scan this QR code, buy me a dinner, and we can have a quick discussion to build you a plan. Okay, so that's that. Thanks for the question. Now the next question is coming from Isman. So Isman is saying, you focus too much on CPM and you forgot about other factors, about metrics and optimization. Exactly, that's what I mean. Because when it comes to meta advertising, a lot of people focus on single metric. We call this analysis paralysis. The moment you focus too much on single metric, you forgot that, in fact, the meta advertising is a combination of so many different metrics and factors that is contributing to the success or the failure of the campaign. And what you need to do is really to find out what's working instead of getting obsessed with one. Like, for example, when it comes to CPM fluctuates. That's really something that we have no control over. But there are CPM high. There are times where CPM high, but the result is still coming in. This is simply because the campaign is doing good in a way. It has learned enough to know that who are the people who are likely to take action. So despite the CPM comes up, you are still able to get that kind of result that you desire at the cost that you are happy with. So that's really something that happens to a lot of my clients. But of course, when the CPM is coming up high, we need to monitor. So if this continues to happen for a couple of weeks or more, we need to have some measure to do. We need to have some next steps to take. But having said that, do not kill a campaign just because of the CPM is coming up or when the CTI is dropping like what. We need to know what really contributes to the factor. Like, for example, we know that CPM is coming up when there are a lot of advertisers entering the market, like, for example, year-end sales and stuff like that. So when you're expecting that, but the market is ready to buy, it's not going to hurt your campaign. So when you're running ads, you cannot just, do all these guesswork and gut feeling things, You really have to understand all these external factors, the market condition, the user behavior shift, and all these kind of things. So if you are running ads and you are concerned about certain metric like CPM is getting high or the CTI is dropping and you are not sure what to do, I would encourage you to start learning about Facebook ads analytics, like Meta ads analytics. So if you are running ads and you are struggling with that, okay, so this is what I will recommend you to do next with me. So this is a Fiverr gig where you scan this QR code, it will take you to my Fiverr gig. So you can choose to have a 30-minute or 60-minute, depending on the package that you take. Book a 30-minute Zoom call with me so that we can actually build a plan for you. So what we're going to do is very simple. First, I'm going to build a dashboard. So in the dashboard, I will give you all the metrics that you need to know in the sequence, in the proper sequence, to help you understand what are the metrics you need to look into to analyze the performance of the campaign. And the second thing is I will analyze for you and teach you how to do that. You get what I mean? So since we have all the data, at least give me 7 days data. 1 day, 2 days, no good. So 7 days. That's what my clients work with me. That's how my clients work with me. We meet weekly basis and we look at the number. We plan about the next steps and stuff like that. So at least give me a week data. So from there, we are going to look into like what's working and what's not working. And from there, we're going to build plans. Okay, and I'll teach you how to do it, right? So when we build plans, like for example, we will build like, these are the 3 things that we will do in the next 3 weeks. So test one variable at a time. Let's test this first and second and third in sequence. So I'm going to build you a plan like that. With that, you're able to really start learning about them, how to make sense of the number, connecting the dots and and make meaningful decision, informed decision based on data and numbers instead of gut feeling. So if that's what you want, scan this QR code and I look forward to work with you. Okay. Now, next one is coming from Crazy Kraken. So you're saying that you entered the wrong credit card twice and your ads manager, it started loading and blah, blah, blah. So it's not your browser or internet. Try other Facebook account was able to log in and ads manager just fine. How do you think you should solve this? I cannot solve this for you because this kind of situation looks like it's either the bug or the browser system, or it's actually the payment system that is like hindering you from moving forward. So the only recommendation I have for you is to contact Meta support, ask them for the next step and ask them to actually investigate what's happening to your ad account and stuff. And, ask them for the next step. That's what I would do. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have no solution because frankly, I don't work for Meta. I have no idea about this thing. Yeah, but usually when it comes to this kind of situation, contact them is the best way. Okay, thanks for popping by. And next question is coming from Storm. So, Storm says you have been restricted from advertising and your mom is going to help you with her account, but she's in Germany and you're in another country. What's the best way to set this up? You know what? I don't recommend to use an account from other country. So let's say, for example, if she's in German and you're in UK, for example, I would recommend that you use an account from UK because we do have these cases. It happens quite a lot. Like if you are logging in from multiple countries too frequently, like switching from one another, it triggers alarm and it might block the account. So yeah, you don't want to get into that kind of situation. So try to find an account that is within the same country that you're in, that you're going to use it. So even though he or she is using this on her own, but at least you guys are within, like a reasonable proximity. It doesn't trigger as, somebody's logging in from Germany and the next hour is in UK and it'll be like, of course, the system will trigger something. So I do not recommend that to be frank. So try to find somebody who is in the same country. That's a better option. Okay, yeah, I hope that makes sense. That's all I have for you. So yeah, try to look for someone. Okay, thanks for popping by. And yeah, the next one is coming from Joshua. You're saying that you don't have the permission to access any Facebook page that is connected to your account. How to gain access? First, the easiest way is ask somebody who have access to give you the access. That's why whenever we are doing this Facebook page thing, right, I always recommend to have a secondary Facebook page. Secondary page admin, so that this page admin can do something, because it's actually weird to me. And I mean, it says that you those are the pages, but you don't have access. That means you're being hacked. So if that's the situation, the second option here you have is to contact Meta support and say that, look, my account is being hacked and I want my account back. Talk to them. It's going to be a long process. It's going to be a daunting one. I won't be able to help you with that because it's really a different process, because what I'm really specialized in is advertising. So when it comes to account restrictions and all, the best person to talk to is Meta. So yeah, try to raise that. There is an option for you to claim your page back. It's really proven that it's a hacking situation. So I've got clients who have done it and they have successfully claimed the page back. So go that route if that's something that you want to do. Okay, thanks for the question. Then the next one is coming from Zhu Huan, actually. So Juan say it's being published. I mean, you're talking about like the like the ad post being published on the page, but not on the Instagram. How can you post the ad on Instagram? You can't actually. Yeah, to be frank, this option is only happening on Facebook. You can't do it on Instagram. So the only way, if you want to have an ad appear on your feed, you create the host first and you use that to run ads. That's the only way. Make sense? Okay. Now, all the best. So, yep. I guess that's pretty much it from me. Let's see. And let's see on the chat. Okay, now I have a question here. Abdullah say, one of your clients told you that to set up a Facebook shop, you perfectly created the catalog and uploaded the product, but the problem is Facebook is asking to verify your business document. How can you verify? To be frank, just follow the steps. I mean, I believe they're asking for a document from your client's business. I mean, you just submit the document, which is normal. You have to do that. Just get the document from your client and submit. That's all. I mean, I've seen clients done it. In fact, it's a very straightforward process. They are really looking to make sure that you're a real business identity. That's it. Yeah. So just go through that. There are steps. When they're asking you, there must be some buttons or links that you can click and say, oh, click here to go through, like click here to learn more and stuff like that. So follow the steps and everything will be fine. Okay. All right. Cool. Thanks for joining me today. And thanks for watching. If you're watching the replay, and if you have any problem, any questions, like I said, scan this QR code. This is where you can actually reach out to me if you have a, like you want something urgent, you want something that is one-on-one private, you don't want to share it on the public. This is where you can actually buy me a dinner and we can have a 30-minute or more kind of discussion on Zoom. You can share a screen, we can analyze campaign, we can look at anything you want, we can answer any questions you have about Meta advertising. So that's what we do. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So of course, if you can join me live on Sunday night at 10 p.m. Okay, every Sunday night, 10 p.m. leisure time, I welcome you. And with that, I think we wrap this one. This is episode 162. This is Jason signing off. I'll see you next week. Have a good night and have an awesome week ahead. Thanks and goodbye.